What is going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of ToyShopFab. And on this video, I'm going to show you guys the tools you need and what it takes to change the rear brakes on your Mustang GT. That's right. Last video, we did the front brakes on this old gym here. And well, as you can see, they look pretty darn good. And I have not done any driving because I split this up into kind of like a two-part series. Just in case. You know what I'm saying? You only want to do front brakes, or you only want to know how to do the front brakes on your car. Second part is, well, you only want to know how to do the rears. So here's what we got. And I'm going to show you, I've already done the pilot side of this car. We have our new rotor, we have our new pads, new hardware. All of our pins have been pulled out, cleaned, re-greased, and everything is put back together. And this guy is waiting for its wheel and tire that are sitting out there cooking in the sun. Because just like the front ones, I did pull them apart, used some oven cleaner to clean off all the old dirt and brake grease on those wheels. And you just sprayed them real quick with some silver to kind of brighten them up a bit. Now, if you care anything about your wheels, or they have really good clear coat on them still, do not use oven cleaner. I think I said that in the last video, but just in case, don't do it. Now, if they're old dirty wheels like the ones I had on this car, and you're not really caring about the clear coat, you'll just gotta make them look a little bit better. Well, that oven cleaner will help take off your flaky clear. Matter of fact, nah, I'll leave that for later. So, but enough chit-chatting, enough jabbering, enough, well, you know, you get what I'm saying. Let's get on over here and let's get started on the rear brakes of this car. All right, get on over here, big guy. Let's see, let's get some light. Let's shine some light on the, on what we got going on here. There we go. Look at that guy. All right, so wheels off. There's our brake system. Now I got my drain pan underneath. I'm gonna go ahead and burn up a couple cans of this brake clean since everything is right here in front of me. We're gonna go ahead and just blast off any of the dirt, cobwebs, brake dust. Try to get rid of all that right now. Okay, so we got that. That is good. Now the first thing I want to do, because it is there, we're going to grab our 14 millimeter. There it is. Now if you come up in here, you see these are the slider pins, which are a lot similar to like what's on the front. Those guys there are a 14 millimeter, I believe. Nope, 13. Let's see, double check. Yeah, 13 millimeter. So we'll go ahead and knock these guys off. Okay, this one is a little tough. Oh, there it goes. It's loosening up. So, but don't take it all the way out, because if you take that all the way out, then this thing can flop over on you. So just loosen it up. Come down to the bottom one, which is not the same size as the top one. So I've got that going for me. This is one of those cars. Should be a 13, but, or 14, 13. Should be a 13, but for whatever reason, yep. I'm gonna grab the, let me grab another wrench. Okay, grabbed a couple other wrenches. Now, your car isn't going to be this way. It should be uniform bolts throughout. Somebody obviously has had a hard time with this car. But, you know, you look around at it, the rust and the misaligned panels, I can understand. the guy, kid, person, individual, whoever owned this car, they did what they could, and that's completely okay. But so we have this bolt, which obviously does not go to that. I might want to look into that. But then we have our 13 up here. Go ahead and get this guy off. Yep. Most important thing is each bolt. Oh. I better put these back where they came from. They look to be a little different. Okay, so once we get those guys out, we can go ahead and lift off our brake caliper. And this, you can see somebody had a problem. They didn't line the piston up correctly when putting the brake, doing the brakes on this car. And you can see my e-brake cable is broken, but I'll worry about that later. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. But we're gonna get to this in a second. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, where's my little chain here? Oh, you know what? I got plenty of room. I can just sit it right there. Cool deal. Okay, so that guy's out of the way. Go ahead and pull our pads off. Now, if you look here, look at that. You see how much brake pad I have left?
Yep.
Psych! See that?
Yeah.
So, here's our old brake sliders, our brake hardware. Now, here's this pad. You see, it's about almost gone. And this one's got a lot of pad left there. These brakes obviously need some attention. So that right here is normally caused. See how that is?
Yeah.
They're almost even though they're crooked. One's going the other way, one's going the other way. Now, when you get brake pads like this, that is caused by wore out slider pins. Normally, I was hoping not to run into this problem on this car. I wonder if I got, oh yeah, let's grab these pliers here. Let's see if I can get these pins out. Now, I had already done the pilot side, and I didn't have an issue. So, I was hoping. But these are locked up. Let's see if this one will come out. Maybe. No matter what, these are coming out. Oh, she turned. You hear that? That squeaky noise? Those pins are locked up. Let me go ahead and get the bracket off, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see here. Now, if you want to get in here, let's skip these for right now. On the back side of the bracket, you got a 15mm bolt here and a 15mm bolt just below it. There you go. So you got one here and one here. We'll go ahead and knock those bolts out right now. All right, bracket is off. Now, it gets held in, like I said, the 215s. This is where the 215mm bolts came out. That's what holds it to our bracket back here. Now, here is our slider pins. And the reason these brake pads are wore so funny is because both these pins are locked up. And if you look, they're not the same. Somebody pulled this pin out of something else and made their little spot there. They made it fit the caliper for this car. This one is the original. And what kind of gave it away, that's why I said I better put these back where they goes, because they're two different thread pitches. So this one goes to this guy. This one goes to this one. So this is the original bolt, and that is not. So, but we got this off. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make a few calls, see if I can't find one at an auto parts store. And if I can, well, I'll be right back, and we'll continue on with these brakes. All right, we are back. Made some phone calls, checked some websites, and you know what? Amazon has them. So we placed an order. I just went ahead and bought the kit for the back of the car. So we're going to end up replacing these calipers. Both pins busted off inside the bracket. I hit it with some heat. I hit it with some Aerocoil or PB Blaster, PJ, PB, one of those. They did not want to come out, even went as far as, matter of fact, I didn't want to give up so soon. I did not want to have to spend the money, but I did, because here is the bracket. You can see both of them busted off. This one right away because it's a different size, and I don't know what that came out of, but somebody made it work for them, and you know what? Good for them. But I did drill holes on the other side there, filled them with oil, Aerocoil, PB Blaster, hit it with some heat. They didn't want to come out, so I threw in the towel. Here's my drill bit I broke. Threw in the towel and just ordered new calipers. But that's not going to stop me. We're going to go ahead and continue getting that side apart. And I want to show you what it is, the whole purpose of this video anyways, because this isn't going to be the same scenario for all of these rear brakes on these cars. So let's pretend that didn't happen. We'll go ahead and here. Now these are the original rotors, so this thing hasn't, but you know, it's got 101,000 miles on it, so that should not surprise me. But factory rotors have these little keepers on there. You can grab yourself a little pick and just try to get up underneath the little guy there. And sometimes you can spin them off. There we go. Get behind it. Give it a nice little bend. Spin it off. Grab it with some cutters. There we go. Just tear them off. Not going to need them anymore. There's sometimes you got 2 of them on here. Yeah, sometimes you got 3. It just all depends on who was working and what day of the week this car was built on. Whew. Right there. Go ahead and grab that. Well, come on. Here's another one of those things. 4 hours later. There we go. One more. It's like, come on. You really only needed 2, if at max. We're putting 3 on here. Alright. Now here's a neat thing too. This is a GT, so it's a limited slip, but check this. There's a lot of play in this axle. The other axle has to say it has a little bit more play. And I'm going to assume those little clutches in there for our limited slip have seen a lot of burnouts. So maybe something we'll get into later in life, but not today. All right, all 3 of those clips are off. So now we can take this guy off. You can see this rotor is in pretty decent shape. Our other rotor was completely metal to metal. Half of it was gone, which is the reason why I'm replacing it. And when I do one side, well, you got to do them both. Okay, don't just do one side. Do them both. Now that we got that guy off, go ahead and hit this with some more brake clean there, or compressed air in a can. There we go. More compressed air in a can. Yeah, okay. Go ahead and knock some of that dust off. Get some of that dirt out of there. Alright, so we're good. Now, here, now that I've got that out of the way, here's what I wanted to show you. Here's what we're going. Now, these brakes, you can get in here and see, here is our piston. Now you can see this piston here has two slots in it, one there and one there. And because of the way this whole setup is, your e-brake, everything is built into the caliper. So inside here is a little, kind of like a little corkscrew or a little thread, like a little, it's threaded basically. It's a corkscrew. You can't just grab channel locks or a clamp or anything and squeeze this back together like you could on the older style brake calipers. And what you need is this tool right here, and I got it from Harbor Freight. Now you can get online and order it. They have a lot of different setups, like different variations, but this is the Harbor Freight Pittsburgh disc brake pad and caliper service toolkit. I bought this many years ago when I owned my first Mustang, and it was only for this setup right here. You can see how these things work. So we got the little pad right here. It's got two of these guys. I believe one goes another direction. I haven't even used it. Yeah, so you got right hand thread and left hand thread. You got the correct way and the wrong way. So I just pull this little guy out here, use this little guy, set them up just like that. Now each one of these little pucks here have pins in them. This is a 2-pin, and on the back side, like, these pins are magnets, so you can actually do this when it goes in here. The magnets hold it in place, so it's set up. It rides on those guys here, and now we have a setup to do our brakes. Now I do recommend, and I did not do that on this one, is putting some never sees on the threads. Be careful though, because it will get everywhere. It doesn't matter. But this way you're not going any threads up. Helps ensure a long life for these little tools. And truthfully, this thing's only been used probably twice. Once by me and once by my son. So here is the next time around. So now that we have it set up just like this, go ahead and grab your caliper, set her in place. You run it to where the pins sit flat inside the piston there. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Yep, just like that. And then thread this guy out. Right? Now because it's left-handed threads, tightening it is bringing it out. So it's not really going to confuse you all that much. So once you get it all the way out and everything is set in place, this is what I mean by getting everywhere. My goodness. Okay, so our tool is sitting flat. Our pins are in the slots on each side of our piston. This guy is backed all the way up. This guy is all the way out now as well. So what you do, grab yourself a crescent wrench. It sometimes can be time consuming. But get a good start on it, tighten this guy, and you're going to watch it move just a little bit. And you're going to feel your wrench tighten up. Once it's tightened up, go ahead and take your, now that we're turning it, take your little T-bar here and start threading in. Now I like to get about a turn, maybe a turn and a half, because then your guy gets loose again. You're going to have to thread this up. I found this to be the easiest way to do it. You're going to snug it, and then you can watch as this caliper or the piston starts traveling in. It's going to get snug again because now it's up against the thread in here, or the little corkscrew in there. Now you can go ahead, tighten this up, like I say, get about a turn, turn and a half. It starts to get tight as well. And you're going to feel it in your hands. You'll know. So now it's snug. Now that that's snug, it should loosen up, and it did. Thread that guy all the way in. Our light's trying to check out. Snug that guy up. There we go. It's a little tight. This one was definitely a lot tighter than the other side. Probably because our little, yep, see this guy here? Our little boot, our dust cover, it's starting to get bound up. Probably the rust and everything that's in here, all the corrosion and stuff. It's probably what's doing it. There it goes. Go ahead and loosen that up. It's supposed to spin in here freely. Another problem with this one is somebody didn't put it together correctly last time. So it's got a pin. You see that little dimple right there? They had it offset and crushed our piston right here. Our factory, I'll show you here, on our other brake pads, which are, here we go. These are the ones that in it. The brake pads have this little pin right here. And that pin, when these are set up in place, this pin sits in one of these slots. So when you hit your brake, whatever, and our little corkscrew and piston comes out, everything turns like it's supposed to. It keeps this still, and the only thing that's turning is the guy in here, which allows our brakes to use properly. And that's probably the other reason why these are all crooked now. But they didn't have this lined up correctly, and so what it did was it sat on the pin here and crushed it. But, so now it's starting to bind up on our little cover. So I want to try to see if I can get that undone, because I would like it to go in so I can finish demonstrating. Yep, she's turning again, or it did. There it goes. Yeah, they're still bound up on our little boot, but our boot's off now. Go ahead and take that out of the way. Okay, so now you can see, tighten it up. Boom. Actually makes for a better visual. Now we turn it in. Yep. It's going in. You can see our brackets, our tool gets loose. Go ahead and hit that, and let's see if you can watch that piston travel as I tighten this up. Yeah, just slightly, but it is going in. I think that is all the way in. back this off there. See if it'll turn. There we go. Give you a nice little arm pump with this too. It's like a workout, really. Okay. All right. So another important thing to do is, well, when the boot is on here, you'll see everything's nice and flush. You got everything, the boot's up. This little piston here is kind of flushed. Maybe just pokes out just a little bit past the boot. When I grab the new calipers, I'll show you what that's supposed to look like. Little guy wanted to come in and party. So, now that our piston is all the way in, the next thing you want to do is make sure that these little notches are lined straight up and down. Like so, if the caliper's this way, if you were to hold it like this, you got, let's say, 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock. This way, you got 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So make sure that that is straight up and down. That is going to help you make sure that your brake pad sits in the right orientation. And help prevent any damage to the piston, like what was done to this guy. Close enough. Okay. Try to treat this like it was being kept. So now that guy sits in place there. Now if we had our bracket was attached to this guy here, our new brake pad, which we're going to pretend that this is it, would sit up against here. So you have these nice little springs here, like an anti-rattle spring, keeps tension on everything. It would sit in here, and when everything's collapsed up against where it's supposed to be, see how that sits inside that slot there? So that's how it should look. But we're getting new calipers now. And we'll load those up. I will show you what it looks like when we get them. That way you can see exactly how the piston's set up. We can make sure the piston's set up correctly. And make sure our pins move correctly. We'll load in our new brake pads so you can see how those are supposed to sit in our new caliper. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and install this little guy. Put him in. You know, because I need some kind of, I need something. And this just looks pretty. Here's one thing I like to do, especially with cars like this, if you notice it's completely rust-free, is make sure our flange here, our axle flange is nice, is free of any loose debris. So if you got a little wire brush, you can get in there and knock any of the dirt off. This one looks really, really good actually underneath this. And it did come off. I didn't have to beat on it with a hammer or smack it or yank on it or anything like that. So to help prevent that further, I just like to put a thin layer of Never Sees just around this flange here. That way it doesn't get rust up inside this little end right here, because a lot of them will rust right here and it swells, and these things kind of rust weld themselves to axles. And I'm not into that game, so I like to do that. Make sure that is nice and clean. And again too, because we don't have those little keepers, I just use a big nut and a lug nut there. That holds it in place for me, and it will allow me to install our brake caliper and everything like that. Keep this guy nice and true. So, but that is as far as I can go right now. What's going to be probably half a day for me, it's going to be a second for you. So when I get those calipers, I'll bring you back in. We'll get it swapped out, and I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll get it swapped out. Yeah. You got my good side here? Sure. Sure. All right, we have got our new calipers. Now I went on Amazon because we could not get any local for this car, and well, I ended up buying a pair. Went on Amazon, we found a full pair of these things for under $100. Came with the brackets, calipers, and all of our little, our new sliders for our brake pads. We got those in the kit as well. New pins, new hardware. So figured I couldn't pass that up. And because there's so much evidence of someone being in here and kind of playing around with these things and making their own stuff, that I figured let's just replace both sides. We'll get them uniform, we'll get them the same. So now I have our 13mm bolts, our sliders. Go on in here, show you. Put this one in. Boom, so our sliders go right in like they're supposed to. They're got plenty of grease on them. And if you want to come in here, there you go. See, now our boot, it snaps over that little lip right there. If you just push down and kind of turn a couple times, maybe flip, there you go. Now you see, make sure that boot is all the way on, and then turn it. So our flat spots, if you want to get down here, yeah, there's a flat spot on each one of these pins. That goes towards the inside here, and that's so this guy can sit on them. So we got this guy, so you can see I splashed a little red on there, just kind of held it away and misted as I walked by. But we also had to make sure our pistons are orientated correctly, so they sit inside our brake pads there and doesn't damage this piston like I showed on the other one. So this one's all set up, ready to go. Our pads are in place. I've got grease on our sliders. So now, go ahead and slide this guy on. There you go. Calipers are sitting in place. Oh, I missed it. You want to kind of make sure these are these little springs on our pads here. Make sure they're. Oh. There we go. Got to make sure they sit up inside this groove right here. See this? They sit on this area. They're kind of the anti-rattle springs. And if you miss your caliper or they're not sitting in place, you hit the brake or a bump, you're going to hear this annoying little kink, 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 kink rattle. And it does get annoying, by the way. I have done it. So get that guy in there. Now we're up against our springs. Now we got our bolt started. And like I was saying yesterday, 13s. Makes it nice. Both sides are gonna match now. Like I said before, these on the other ones, I just snug them. Kind of make a mental note of how tight they were when I took them off of our last ones. So, and that's how tight I try to put them back on. Our 15mm bolts for our brackets that I put in there did get Loctite because the originals were held in with Loctite. So I did make sure to copy that. So now, let's see here. Snug this last bolt up. There we go. Now these are, you see how our e-brakes hook up onto here? Let me show you this. This one's going to be easy to show you because somebody cut it. and I'm gonna have to order e-brake cables, but you can see it gets held on with a pin right here and just kind of hooks in right here. To take them off, you knock this clip out. You can take a regular screwdriver. It's easier to do it on the car, but you kind of take a regular screwdriver up underneath that guy right there. When you pop that pin off, you do this, it comes out. Let's see, maybe I can do it. Maybe, let's see if I can do it sitting here, because I need to save it anyways. It is kind of hard because I didn't hook it up to anything, but nope. But just knock this clip off. You can get your screwdriver underneath this lip right here, over the top, ding up your quarter panel. But you push it down, this will allow you to pull down, slide it out this gap right here, and then unhook it. So I'm gonna leave this on right now. I'll take it off when I get this out of the car. This guy here is a 10mm bolt. I'll go ahead and knock him free. If I can find my wrench. Somewhere, promise. One day I'm going to be prepared. One day I'm going to be prepared for this stuff, you know, instead of wandering all over the place. And you're still recording.
Oh yeah.
Is that, yep. Pause it. I think not.
It's got to feel natural. All right.
Get over here.
Coming.
Found my tin. All right. It went on an adventure. So, 10mm is the original banjo bolt for our brake line. And it has been on there a while. Because she's tight. All right. There it goes. Okay. So we'll get that guy loosened up. Yeah, fun story. I left this on another truck. The bleeder of another truck, mind you, and went on a 2-mile test drive. It hung out the entire time. So that's a good wrench hanging out. Okay. Now you always want to change out, if you're going to reuse your banjo bolts, that's fine. But they say it's always a good idea to change your washers, because they are crush washers. But cool thing about our new calipers is they came with new banjo bolts, new crush washers, and everything. So, but those are 11mm, not 10. Let's see here, got them here. Boom, new one. Is 11mm new crush washers. So get those guys installed. Always check your lines too. Sometimes you'll have an original crush washer or another crush washer just hang out. You don't try not to double stack them. So now that we got that guy off, this guy on here, go ahead and put them on our brake caliper. Make sure it's nice and snug. Oh yeah, good to go. Now, what we can do, here is our bleeder. Let's go ahead and take the tape off. Now, a good thing is I like gravity bleeding. Sorry.
Oh,
So, our lines here, bleeders are always up on top, so if you change your calipers, you don't know which side it goes on which. Brake line or brake hose is on the bottom, bleeders on top. That way when the fluid comes in, it fills up, it pushes all the air upwards and out this guy. So, but right now I'm just gonna crack the bleeder, and we're gonna sit here, watch till fluid comes out. Now the other side came out fairly quickly, so this side should do the same. There we go. See the fluid coming out now? That's a good indication that we've got all the air out of it now. The fluid's just steadily flowing, so that is a good sign. Go ahead and snug that down, and boom. So our calipers are on, bolts, everything are tight. I'm gonna go in now because when you do brakes, before you put the wheels on, hit that pedal. Make sure you have a pedal. I always say this because I have watched people and I have seen cars take off. And I'm not gonna lie, I've done it once. Put it in gear and realize I got no brakes. Luckily there was nothing around me, so down, up. Oh yeah. Now we got brakes. Now that we've got that all set and ready to go, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the wheels on and we're gonna take this thing for a test drive. You recording? Mm-hmm. All right, car is on the ground. See if I can maneuver it out of here without running into anything. I've got so many cars parked now. This is going to allow me to kind of figure out what else needs to be done. Let's see here. So if you listen to this, here's the crackling. I think the little bearings on our struts are going out, so those are going to need to be replaced soon. We already know I need e-brake cables because one is cut, but I figured I'll just replace them both because our pilot side one is a little rough. This is neat. This is nice. It's like the first time driving this car in 7 months. Besides just moving it around the yard. And it's got no mufflers. And it's low to the ground. Matter of fact, we just ripped the exhaust off.
Test drive over.
Let me put it back on. Be right back. All right, here is our exhaust. So you can see it got ripped out. Now this exhaust hangs low and it's somebody just kind of welded a bunch of pieces together and there is no mufflers in it. But I forgot how low this exhaust hung and it caught on our roots of a tree that's out there in my driveway, and you can see it just completely buckled our exhaust. So I'm not going to be able to put that back on. So what I'm going to do is, I got my Sawzall out. I'm going to pick a spot back here, just cut the exhaust off. We're going to get it out of the way. I'm going to drive this car, even if it's down the street and back, but at least now I think our next project for this old beast is going to be an exhaust system. So, but then I'm going to cut this bent stuff off here, and then we'll go out, go for our test drive, see how our brakes work, get them broken in, and just kind of have a little bit of fun with this car. So, let's see here. Bent. That's a shame too. That looks like it was a fairly nice little crossover pipe. Attempt number 2. As you can tell, the exhaust is fixed. I got no exhaust. I don't have to worry about this exhaust hanging on anything because this exhaust is still up there in the shop. You can't even tell there's no exhaust on this thing. hood's latched, but it was latched before. I know, I checked it. I don't know what, it just must have had enough wind and caught it. I did check it. I did something. You have to slam it, and I knew that. So I did pull on it. It obviously, I don't know, maybe wasn't latched all the way, but needs a hood now. That's all right. It was never a perfect hood, okay? So I got that going for me. Most of it's out. Can't even tell. Cracked windshield, just barely. A little dent on the roof. So, that is this car's history. It's been in multiple accidents. It's got multiple things that are wrong. It's got a lot of rust. But I'm not gonna let this discourage me. We got brakes on the car, and the brakes are working great. Okay, I was able to fix one thing. Everything seems to be doing pretty good. They still need to be broken in, still needs to be driven a little bit. So let's get this thing in the car wash and get it blasted off. All right, we are back at the shop, and well, that test drive did not go like I wanted it to. I was hoping just to get out on the road, test out our new brakes, our new pads, our new rotors, our new calipers, see how well the car stops. And I gotta tell you, it stops pretty darn good. See, get up here, take a shot of our front brake calipers and rotors. You can see our pads look to be wearing in quite evenly. So this is this side here, the front of this car got new rotors, it got new pads, and all I did was just kind of clean up and service our calipers on both sides, and both front rotors look like they're doing exceptionally well. Get back here to the back. This side here the rear got new rotors, new pads, and well, we ended up replacing calipers on this car. Pilot side rear caliper was in decent shape. The pins were loose, so I was able to service that up, and everything functioned the way it should. Co-pilot here, well, everything was locked up. I did try to remove the pins off camera, broke both the pins, so I just went ahead and ordered a complete set from Amazon. I think it was like just a tad over $100 for both rear calipers. So this car got new calipers on the rear, new pads, new rotors. We also cleaned up these rims, which actually cleaned up very well using Walmart brand oven cleaner, the blue can. Now, hopefully I've said it, but do not use that oven cleaner on rims that you absolutely care about. If they are brand new with nice, fresh, shiny, clear, and all that stuff, do not use it on those, because it's a good chance it'll take that clear right off. It took, these wheels had bad clear, and it took all the clear off them. So, but I wasn't worried about them. Just wanted to get all that brake dust and mud and crap, junk off them, and hit them with some paint to kind of clean them up a little bit. But now, so car's doing good, brakes are doing good. And in case you haven't noticed already, yes, this says a couple days later. I have, since then, I came home, we fixed this latch. I knew it was an issue. It wasn't engaging on the safety here. It was just engaging on the main latch down here. And this guy was completely missing our loop. I pulled the core support out real quick. It's nice and simple. I just got a block and hit it out with a hammer. Also pushed the towers back where they're supposed to go so I can add this brace in there. But all that to kind of help just align this stuff up so I can get the core support forward and get our hood to shut properly, so it will help prevent that hood from flying up on me again at highway speeds. And I have already gone ahead and replaced the windshield. So, like I said, not a cheap test drive. The hood is still quite a bit wrinkly, but that is all right. It's got most of its shape back. The only spot here is I'll worry about is we'll get to this to repair the top of our roof. The hood can stay pretty much the way it is. For right now, I'm on the hunt for a different one. And if you know anything about the hoods on these cars, this one's aluminum. Kind of a pain. And you can find them fairly cheap. But I want a nice little upgraded hood, so I'm not too worried about that. But anyways, test drive is over. We got the car washed. Everything works. Showed you guys the tools I would need to change out our brakes and calipers, and how to set up your rear calipers when doing just a pad change. So hope this helps a lot of you guys out. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you think. Give a guy a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and made it this far. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys again for hanging out and watching. Appreciate all the support. And I'll catch you on the next one.